Yes. I think we are now live. You're all welcome. You're welcome to another episode of my weekly Forex market analysis session. Today is the Wednesday, 27th of July, 2022. We are going to be looking at what we have in the market today, in the Forex market. We are going to analyzing it from the USD pairs. We are going to be examining GBP pairs, US oil, and the JPY pairs today. Today is another great trading day, and most of the time, whenever we on Wednesday, which is the mid-week, one has to be very careful, and at the same time, one has to be very optimistic, because there used to be many trading opportunities, and at the same time there might be some trading trap to avoid. So guys, you're welcome to this live session. If you are joining us for the first time, I'm welcoming you personally. My name is Abdullah Adewi. I have started doing the live stream session from live trading session from 2 weeks ago. I just try to share my analysis with you guys. We trade together, we have fun, and we try and see different trading setup that we can pick. So that's what we are doing here, guys. So quickly give me 1 minute to check out YouTube and other platforms if you guys can hear me loud and clear. I see you guys have been joining us on Facebook already. Alright guys, thank you for being there. Thank you for being there. I'm going to extend the days I'm coming live to 5 days now, because currently I'm just doing on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm thinking of extending it to I'm currently doing Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I'm thinking of adding Tuesdays and Friday, but I'm going to start with Tuesday first. Then that will be 4 days in a week. Then I can now extend it to 5 days in a week. So guys, as you're coming in, I will be so glad if you can drop your name in the chat box, either on Facebook or YouTube. Let me know who's there, and I can recognize you personally, and we can have more engaging conversation. Properties. I'm trying to check how everything is going on the platforms. Yep. No. Oh, fantabulous. Perfect. I think I can hear myself very clearly. Yeah, what about YouTube? Let me check out what's happening on YouTube and see if everything is live on YouTube yet. Today I'm going to be spending just 1 hour with you guys, because there is not much to talk about today, just because of the fact that I'm anticipating, there's gonna be news released today in the evening, and that's the FOMC, and there's gonna be a possible interest rate hike in the United States of America. So there's a lot of movement. If you are a member or if you're a follower and you've listened to my live session that I had on Monday, you will notice that my analysis that I did on Monday was based on the fact that market is going to be a bit sluggish on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday until the release of the news. And that's exactly what happened. And that's exactly what happened because of the sentiment and a lot of panic here and there that's currently in the market, because no one can say categorically this is what is going to happen this evening from the interest rate decision meeting that's going to take place in the United States of America today. So that's why I know every trader that knows what he or she is doing, we're very careful in putting a lot of volume in trading during these crucial moments, especially with day traders. So that's why we are seeing that the market is not really moving as we anticipated. But regardless of that, let's quickly have an overview, a review of what has happened in the market since Monday, which we met last. On my chart here, I have the euro dollar. The euro dollar was analyzed on Monday by me, and the analysis I gave was that euro dollar is going to push down to give us an opportunity to join the buy position, and that was when this bullish move happened. So then there was a correction downward, and I gave a buy call here that market ought to resume a buy to the upside. So market did buy a little bit, it went up, then we started seeing this rejection, and even before then I've seen the sideways move here, and I was so convinced that it's going to fall. So I changed my buy position to close. I didn't even take another position, I just closed my buy position at break even. And another thing that gave me the confirmation is this bearish candlestick that looks like a shooting star. So that's it. So what I did then was that, okay, if this is an ABC correction, this is another ABC correction, and then there should be another leg to the downside before we now see push to the upside. So it all depends on, let's see, the outcome of the FOMC that's to be released today. That is what I think is going to really decide what's going to happen for euro dollar. But to be on the technical side, let's anticipate let's say, okay, the worst and best case scenario after the news release, because I won't be trading this pair until everything is calm, the wave is calm, and I see that, okay, market is calm. That's when I'm gonna pick in my position, and that is if there's any technical reasons. That's when I'm gonna pick in a position. But right now, the analysis we had on Monday for euro dollar, this is not how I start my analysis. Most of the time I start from crypto, then DXY, then I come back to euro dollar. Okay. All right, let me do it that way. Don't let me start analyzing euro dollar straight up. We'll come back to euro dollar, guys. Sorry. Let me go back and start the way I do start my analysis. Starting from, let's start from the crypto section. We are going to examine Bitcoin, Ethereum, then I move to DXY, then we now start talking about the USD pairs and checking them out one by one before we now get to gold. So guys, let's start from Bitcoin. So I could see some questions on Facebook already. All right, guys, we are going to attend to all the questions, but let me quickly do the analysis proper, and let's see, so that we can learn better and know what we want to trade. All right, starting from BTC USD, guys. BTC USD. On Monday, my analysis on BTC USD is there's going to be a continuation of the drop, but there is a high possibility that market is going to fall a bit. Market is going to retrace a bit, to the upside, then we might now see resumption of sell downward, and that was why I drew this tentative trend. I expected a correction to fall into this region before the sell will continue, but as the market will have it, Bitcoin was so confident in its sell position, and it didn't even give us any opportunity to rejoin that position. So this is wave 1, this is wave 2, this is wave 2. The whole of these can now be called wave 1 of 3. This is wave 2 of 3. This will now be our wave 3 of 3. This will be wave 4 of 3. It will now be wave 5 of 3. So in case you don't understand that, let me use some labeling so that we can see it perfectly. But before we go there, in case if this is your first time joining us, or you were not present in the live session we had on Monday, you might be wondering how come and how did I arrive at the conclusion that Bitcoin is going to fall. You know, it might seem it might seem a bit like a magic. It's not a guesswork, man. It's not a guesswork. I did my analysis perfectly before I make those conclusions, and this was what I did. This was what I saw on the Bitcoin charts. Come and check it with me, okay? Yep. After the fall that happened to terminated at 17,400 here, I knew there's going to be push to the upside, and the push can be one of two things. Either it should be the push up should be one of two things. Either it should be a retracement, or it should be a continuation of a new pattern, a new trend. Why am I using the wrong words today? Maybe I'm stressed. So starting from this very low, we saw this push up, then the correction downward, another push to the upside that forms the ABC zigzag. Mark that as our W. Then correction downward, we saw another ABC zigzag, correction downward, another ABC zigzag. So that forms a double combo, and some people call it a triple ABC, like a triple zigzag. The reason why they call that is this ABC, they mark it as the first zigzag. Let me use an indicator to see it. Yeah, first zigzag, and they take this one as the second zigzag. Now the whole of these and these is the third zigzag level. So we are not really concerned about that. After confirming that our correction, that is the double zigzag, has completed around here, ideally the next thing after correction is there's going to be an impulse to the downside, and starting from this very high, I think that's what is happening. That's why we saw the fall, and it was massive. It was not like a sideways movement, it was down straight on, and that is one of the characteristics or the features of an impulse movement. They move very fast. We call it motive waves at times. You get it? So right from this very high, we were able to pick the sell position, and we close around here. That was wave 1. Then the correction to the upside side, our wave 2. Let me remove that. Let me put this one here so that you guys can see properly. And now wave 2 is here. Wave 2. So now the correction here, let me zoom in so that you guys can see properly. I've seen a lot of people messaging me privately like they don't see my chart, that I need to zoom in better. But because, you know, the experience, I've been trading quite for some time now, so my eyes can really see those candlesticks even from afar. I don't really need to zoom in. I zoom in most of the time when I want to count sub waves and I want to see what's happening inward in the market. So this is where we are concentrating. This is where we are at the level of our analysis now. These down to the downside, this move to the downside, I mean this pull down is our wave 1, and this ABC correction is our wave 2. Fine. Then ideally wave 3 should come in, and that one too should be made of a 5 wave. So this I count this as my 1 of 3, and this is wave 2 of 3, and the whole of this is wave 3 of 3. So for those that understand Elliott wave, they will understand what I'm saying. But even if you are not quite familiar with the Elliott wave trading strategy, what you should be bothered about is that after an impulse, after there's a motive wave, there should be a correction. That should be like a consolidation phase, break to the downside, retracement, consolidation phase. This is the tenet of Elliott wave, and that is what the theory stands for, that there's going to be a motive wave, and the motive wave will not just continue like that. It will definitely retrace, and that is when those that had made profit are going to get out of the market, and price is going to return back again a bit to the upside. That is in a downward trend this time around. So then there's going to be more momentum resuming to the downside, and that is where they pick that where that you should buy when it is low and you should sell when it is high. So you don't sell when the market is dropping, you wait for it to retrace and price is higher, then you sell. Then you get it. So then you wait for retracement again, join the sellers again. That's how Elliott wave works, and that's what we are trying to do in a nutshell. So this is wave 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3. Now this is a retracement again. That should be 4 of 3, and that should give another opportunity for a sell to the downside, which is 5 of 3. I think that is clear enough, guys. So that is what we mean by BTC. That's what we have on BTC USD chart, guys, in a nutshell. So I'm anticipating a fall to the downside, and I'm seeing this as just a correction to the upside that will soon terminate any movement around here. I don't know how far it's going to go, but definitely it's going to fall from the price region here, 2001-7500 or thereabout. So that is what I have for you guys on BTC USD. So now let's check Ethereum and see if it's working the same way or we have an alternative view. This is Ethereum on 4-hour time frame. This was the analysis I did on Monday for you guys. For those that are part of this live session will know. So we saw this sideways move right from this very low. We saw this sideways move here. Ethereum was finding it very hard to break this resistance zone. This was the this side of the first resistance zone that was broken, retested. It served as a support here. So support to the downside and resistance from going up. So this is a resistance. Market wasn't able to break above, and again market wasn't able to break above, and finally when we got here, market was able to break above this resistance zone. So that was when I knew, okay, this is going to be the last wave of the correction. So all of these are zigzag here. It's nothing but legs of correction. Using my tool here, I have this A, B, C as a correction leg 1, and then this second correction, and this is third leg A, B, and the whole of this impulse up to the termination level here. And on our RSI, we saw the divergence right here. You know, wow, I have a lot of drawing there. Let me remove these lines. They're getting too much. Perfect. What I'm trying to illustrate here in essence is that when you take your trend line to join these highs and you go to your RSI to spot their equivalent on that RSI chart, you see that there is a clear divergence right there. You see it starting from this point, and try and just check where it falls on, like this high. Check where it falls on here. You see that that's a divergence, and this high, check where it falls right here. So the market was falling on RSI, and on the chart itself it was going up. Trend is going higher and it's going lower on the RSI. So that was the first signal that we had that okay, Ethereum is ready to resume the sell. So now let's zoom inward and see how the sell has been. I mean how the downtrend has been, to see if we can make any sense of the waves that has been formed inward there. Going to 45-minute time frame or 30 minutes. Let me go on 30-minute time frame. Yep, 30-minute time frame. Something is obvious here, that the whole of this move to this downside, that's the wrong tool. This starting from this high to this downside is an impulse, followed by a correction to the upside. Guys, can you see that? Yeah, that's so clear. Fine. Then we had the whole of these should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's an impulse to the downside, and I can replace that with just one single line, one single arrow down. Okay, this is wave 1. Fine. And this, I don't know, one single line to the upside, one wave correction to the upside, and can you see there is a push downward, correction, and then move downward. So if I'm to hide, okay, let me hide. I want to hide. If it's possible for me to hide the chart itself, I think there's a way we used to do it. I want to hide the candlestick itself. You are going to see that what is right here. Okay, let me bring out this pattern we do here. Fine, here it is. So what we have here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's an impulse. Then we are going to bring out our label. Then it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you see that? Perfect. So then we can remove this. So then this, all of this fall here is the big wave 1. Okay, now read that with my text. Wave 1. Yeah, put that right here, and the correction to this upside, that will be a wave 2. So Elliot wave is so easy, guys, but I don't know why most people just find it very hard. Maybe because they were not they don't have opportunity to see someone to really calm down and demystify it to them. So Elliot wave is just easy. It's so simple. You are just trying to see trend that is moving direction and is correcting, then there's going to be a continuation. That's just it. Looking for impulses and correction. That's what we're doing. This is an impulse wave 1, this is a correction wave 2, and what follows is an impulse. And that impulse made up of what? Is made up of 5 waves, and we have been able to spot those 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's the count. So ideally, when we say the whole of this is wave 1, this is wave 2, and this is wave 3 terminated there, the push to this upside will be what then? Wave 4. And that's it. So if the push to the upside is wave 4, or before we go, let me quickly label. Wave 3, and this is wave 4. If this is wave 4, then there's going to be wave 5 to the downside, continuation. Definitely there must be. So we will be anticipating another move to this downside, telling us that there is an opportunity for Ethereum to fall lower in price. And if you have any other price action set up in Confluence, you can use that to support your analysis, and you are going to be seeing an opportunity to sell Ethereum today. That's going to be an opportunity for you to sell Ethereum either today or this week. So another thing I can do is that, okay, let me try and from where my wave 4 should not enter. This is territory where my wave 4 cannot get into. So I'm anticipating a push to the downside on Ethereum, the same way I am expecting it for Bitcoin. That Bitcoin too is going to fall to the downside right here. So in case this analysis, you can, if you are live here, you can just screenshot these on your charts right now and just keep it. You can just check back on it and keep an eye on Ethereum and Bitcoin to see if it's giving you any bearish opportunity, and you can just join the sell position. So that's all about the cryptos that I have for you guys today. Now let's move into the USD pairs proper. Let's see what we have there. 1 minute. Now for the USD pairs, we are going to start the analysis with DXY. I think I'll have to get my coffee before I continue. I'm getting a bit tired. All right. Yep. So now let's move the analysis to DXY, and we are going to start this analysis from the bigger time frame as usual. Daily time frame. Let me use a clean chart, then I'll come back to the one I've already analyzed. Okay, DXY, clean charts, capital.com. Yep, this is a clean chart, guys. Go to daily. Oh wow, I still have some drawings there. Just go to daily time frame, DXY. Yep, I'm trying to clean this chart so that you guys can see what I have for you properly. Now we set charts. Fine. Reset charts. Fine. Marvelous. So now this is US dollar index, guys. I'm trying to see what's happening with US dollar index on the daily time frame. You can see that dollar has been in the bullish trend for a while now, and it seems as if it's not ending yet. So market has been pushing higher and higher. So why will you okay, if there's not enough information for us here, let's go to the 4-hour time frame. And I don't even think this DXY is reset charts. This chart up to date? No, this is different from what I'm seeing here. Yeah, I think the chart is same or different. Doesn't matter. Let me use this one then. I'll just have to clean some of those illustrations I've already done. Alright, fantastic. So here on the 4-hour time frame, the analysis we have on DXY. The analysis we have on DXY is that there's going to be DXY is in like a corrective phase, because we have these as wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5 here. Then we have this triangle pattern, which is a correction. So I call this out. I wrote it there, triangle pattern correction. So after the triangle pattern completed, there was a breakdown to the lows, the downside, break to the downside, and that was perfect. But what we didn't know is that was the fall from this very high to this low, was it an impulse, or is it just an ABC that is going to definitely continue the fall? That's what we cannot really answer yet. But now let's look inward in the 15-minute time frame to be able to ascertain this better. Guys, give me 1 minute up. We'll be back soon. 1 minute. So I'm back, guys. Let's continue the analysis. I stopped at DXY. I was analyzing US dollar index, and that's where I'm gonna take it from. So after this triangle pattern has completed here, there was a break to the downside. That was a downward move to this downside, and it was followed by this impulse correction, then that impulse. So the question now is that, is this move to this upside, the whole of this move with 1, and this is with 2 correction, and this is maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It should be with 3. Then there'll be a correction, and there's going to be a push to the upside with 5. Then it's not going to be with 1, with 2, with 3, with 4, with 5. That's the question now. I don't know. Or will it be with A and this will be with B, and there's going to be continuation of sell to the downside? So sincerely, I can't really say yet, but what I can say is that I can put my trend line to spot some possible support and resistance that I think are going to be very, very effective. And here are they. The first one is right above this high. Any move above this high is going to see a retracement downward, and market is going to continue to go high as possible. And the second very important key level is right here. So market is still currently trading within these 2 levels. Let's see how market is going to play out, and then we can have what next outlook. But for DXY right now, I don't think there's anything tangible to trade on it, because the news is going to be released this evening, and that is going to be a really defining factor for the market. That's going to really define a lot in the market, and that's why I don't want to be too technically oriented right now. Let's see how the market moves after the news release. When all the investors are now settled, then we can now do a proper analysis. That's the XY, guys. Let's quickly move on to USD CHF. USD CHF, fine. It went exactly as we analyzed, but it did not really move very fast as I thought. It didn't really move very fast as I thought. Euro dollar, USD CHF is still going to fall, and it's going to get to this low, and that's going to be another defining moment. But the most obvious is that USD CHF is going to retrace up a bit. Now this is what is happening on USD CHF. In case if you don't know, on 1 hour time frame, let's say it, starting from this very high up to this low, that is my wave 1. Then there's a correction upward, my wave 2. Then after that, I have the whole of this move to the downside to be either my wave 3, this should be my wave 4, and this should be my wave 5. But wave 3 cannot be as short as this, and that's why I'm not going to take that as wave 3. I'm going to call the whole of this maybe wave 1 of 3, this wave 2 of 3, this can be 3 of 3, 4 of 3, and 5 of 3. I don't think that is correct. Let me go lower, 45-minute time frame, so I can spot this in properly. Wave 1 has ended here, right, fully terminated here. Terminated here. This is where wave 1 terminated at. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is the beginning of another wave. This is wave 1, wave 2, this is wave 3, this is wave 4, and 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is fine. Fantastic. So what we are going to see for USD CHF, guys, is anticipate that there's going to be a correction to the upside. News or no news, there's going to be a push to the upside first, even if market is going to go lower. So for me now, I'm anticipating that USD to drop to this region and give me a very strong reversal candlestick around this support zone. Then I'm going to maybe buy a correction to the upside before I now think of maybe I should join the sell position or I should just stay out of the market. So that is what is clear on USD CHF, guys. On USD CHF, I'm anticipating that the whole of this should be wave 1, wave 2. This is wave 3. This is, oh no. Sorry, let me use my text to call it out properly. Wave 1. The wave 1 terminated here. And there's another wave starting from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the 5th wave of that will be ending here. Ending here. And down will be the wave 3. Wave 3. So before wave 3, wave 2 should have come up there. There's wave 2. Right here. Yeah, and wave 4 is the one we are anticipating the push. It's push up right here. So that's what I'm anticipating for USD CHF, guys. So if you ask me how will you trade this setup now, what I will advise you is there is a high possibility that the correction is going to be very fast. When the news is being released, it might be very fast, and let me even check the time, and I might come live by that time so we can trade it together. Let me check the time for the news release, and I might just schedule a live session for that time, so we may just be able to trade it together. Alright, it's going to be for 7 o'clock. Yeah, I'll be available by that time. I'm going to be available by that time. So I'm going to start the live session by 6:30 to 7:30 or to 8. So let me schedule a live session. That's going to be an FOMC. That's live. The 7th of July 2021. So the time is going to be, let's see, what will the time be? We're going to be starting the live by 6:30 p.m. today, 30 minutes to the release of the news. Alright. So it's already scheduled. Then we are going to be discussing about our USD pairs better by that time, because I want us to be very careful so that we won't pick some positions that is going to now start to reversing against us when the market resumes. I don't want something of such. All right. Now back to the analysis, guys. Let's go back to the analysis. All right. We've still got 15 minutes left. The euro dollar analysis. So euro dollar, what I expected for euro dollar on Monday was that there's going to be a correction to the downside here, and market is going to resume the buy position. And it didn't go as I expected, because this was just an ABC and it was followed by another ABC. Then this should be another ABC. That is a double zigzag before we see a push to the upside. So hopefully, maybe before the news release or after the news release, there is a high possibility that euro dollar is going to be bullish on the long run. Maybe due to the news release or after the news release. I don't know what is going to trigger that, but technically from what I can see here, it's going to be a buy. I've already explained these on Monday, and I can still go on and on to explain better. This is an impulse starting from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Terminated somewhere here. After the impulse, there is a correction ideally to the opposite side, and that correction should be in form of ABC. This is A, B, C. And this region that you see, this price level are the 50 and 61.8% Fibonacci level of the all of these bullish move. So I'm anticipating that there's going to be resumption of the buy trend, buy position, and the invalidation level should be somewhere here. But for you to know what to trade exactly when the trade is being released or after the release of the trade, I would advise you to join the live session. We are going to be having this. We are going to be having that this evening. We're going to be having that live session this evening. You can join us there. So the live session is going to start by 6:30 p.m. UK time. All right, perfect. We are now live back here. So that is that on my euro dollar. I'm anticipating a push up to the upside. My invalidation level still remain down here. So far market does not break below that level, then I don't think we are going to review that outlook. So that's euro dollar for you guys. Let's quickly check gold. I know everyone has been anticipating what do you have also on gold, what's going to happen for gold. I will want to clean my chart on gold here. Let me clear all this drawing so we can have a very clear view of what is happening on gold. Fine, yeah. For those of you following me since last week or before now, you know that I've been analyzing gold, and my analysis on gold has not changed, and that is that gold is bearish on the bigger time frame, but I have been out of that market just because the waves are not really familiar to me. And that is it. The way I trade and the way that I think is the best way to trade is that know what you are looking for in the market, and if you can't see your setup, do not force it, just walk out. Do not bother picking that trade at all. And that's exactly what happened on gold. While it was just falling, and everyone were calling me and asking me, why are you not selling gold? I said I sold gold when I saw something very nice on it, and that was after the correction right here from this very high. This was a zigzag, a double zigzag that ended here. I gave a sell recommendation in the Telegram channel here. We had a sell position there. Then after this retracement, we had another sell to this region. So, but since then, market has continued to fall and fall. But I wasn't able to pick any position there until on Friday last week. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? I think it was last week that we had this bullish move to the upside. So after analyzing it better on the lower time frame, on 1 hour to be precise, I found out that what is happening here is still like an advanced correction. This is an ABC, and this is another ABC to the downside. And ideally it should be followed by 5 waves to the upside, and that 5 wave looks as if it has terminated here, because I did move my chart into the lower time frame as low as 15 minutes, and I was able to see that okay, this push to the upside is wave 1. I put it there, and the retracement downward is wave 2. Then we have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, making wave 3. Then a pull downward, a pullback of wave 4, then a push to the upside of wave 5. From this low to this high is our wave 5. After this wave 5 has formed, then I was now pretty sure that this is a zigzag, this is another zigzag, followed by 5, and that is what we call a flat pattern, expanded flat. So after a correction pattern, ideally it's going to be followed by an impulse. So that is why my own bias and my own recommendation on gold generally is a sell, because a correction pattern has completed here. So the whole of this move to the downside should be an impulse ideally, and that impulse should get to as low as the former, should go to the former low, and that is 1680.95. that's where I'm expecting gold to fall into. So yesterday I was able to pick this buy position. Was it yesterday or Monday? It was on Monday. I picked the sell position. I sold gold from this very high position, and I closed it around here when market started rejecting it. The reason why I did that is that I'm seeing it as okay, this is wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. That's the first impulse, and this is a correction of ABC to the upside, wave 2, and this is another impulse followed by another correction that terminated here. Then another impulse started, one break above this high. If you zoom in, you are going to see what I'm talking about. This is wave 3. Now the question is, when this wave 4 formed, was this an impulse or not? This does not look like an impulse. This looks like another correction. So this looks as if this A, this is B, and this is C. So that is a sell scenario. It's a very, very nice sell position, sell opportunity if that is the case. I would like to remove all this drawing and check my analysis again after zooming in on the 15-minute time frame. Okay, this is obvious. This high fails to break above the former high, so that is wave 2. So this impulse count that I made here, this was correction, this impulse, this is a correction down here, this is 1, 2, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is wave 1, it's going to be correction. And I think there are more opportunity to the downside for gold. Yeah, there are a lot of opportunity to the downside for gold, and here as we can see, so this is a correction, guys. This is a correction of A, B and this is C. So market market has a very high chance of falling for gold. So that's the first scenario I have right here for gold. And let me see if there's any other alternative outlook. Is an impulse correction with two. This is 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5. All right, so let me put my wave counts and labeling on them so that we won't mix things up. Yeah, it should be my wave 1, wave 2, this will be wave 3, this can be wave 4, and this can be the end of wave 5, because this is 1 2, this to fall to break above 1, this is 3 4, and this is 5. Then we now have an ABC correction. Oh, fantastic. So it's clear now. So this 1 2 3 4 5 looks like what we call a leading diagonal. Leading diagonal. Can try and join this. The high of with 2 and 4 together, and this very low. So we can call it a leading diagonal. That should be followed by a correction to the upside. So that correction now is where we are going to check, is what we are going to check. Let's see where the correction ought to terminate. The correction can terminate at 38.2, the point region that's been rejected. It can terminate at 50% Fibonacci, and it can terminate at 61.8 Fibonacci. But our what we can call our invalidation level should be that very beginning of wave 1 at this price of 1739. That is where I'm gonna spot at the invalidation level for the setup. So there is a high possibility that we can see market to retrace back up before we now see the fall down. But gold is bearish from my own point of view and from the analysis I have right here. If I have any other analysis, I'm going to share it with you guys, but for now that is what I think gold is doing, because of the fact that I have an ABC here and I have another ABC to the downside, and I think the whole of this is an impulse to the upside. That is, for me, is a flat pattern, an expanded flat 335 formation. That's what we call it. This is an ABC3, another ABC3, and this is an impulse 5. It should be followed by an impulse to the downside, no matter what. So the whole of this 1 2 3 4 and 5 is, it looks like the first wave of 5, then ABC correction that might terminate around this potential reversal zone. This is 38.2 Fibonacci level, this is 50, and this is 1.8. I'm anticipating that there's going to be a correction, a rejection of any of these price levels to the downside. So that will give us wave 3, wave 4, and then we see wave 5 downward. So that's it for gold. All right, we have a suggestion from Shivanji. It's talking about gold price may go, he said it will go high or low tomorrow morning in India after today's Fed meeting. Yes, and that's why I said I'm going to be having a live session also today before the Fed meeting, and we are going to be live until the news is being released, and we are going to see what's happening together. I don't know why my camera is not bringing me up. Just let me get it. So that's it for analysis. Shivanji, there is a high possibility that it might go either way, but I want you to know that we are in a bearish trend, even from the bigger outlook. So we have to keep that in mind and we shouldn't be blinded by that short-term frame. Let's just say this just maybe this is just like maybe a volatility to the upside that later form and a complex correction. So anyways, I'm going to be live by that time, and I'm going to give you an update on gold. As I told you guys at the beginning of this live session, that I'm not going to be picking any trade yet until after the Fed meeting today, after the FOMC. And even if I'm going to be taking any trade, it's going to be closed maybe an hour before, 30 minutes before, depending on what happened this afternoon and if price has gotten to those levels I'm expecting. For instance, now for gold, if price can move into the territory, any of this territory, and I see a very nice maybe shooting star or bearish candlestick, I'm going to sell. I'm going to sell regardless, and I will put my stop loss here. So I'm going to risk it because from my own analysis, I think it's going to go down. That's what I have in my own opinion. Now let me look at the alternative scenario that I see other people looking at, and that's why they think gold is going to be bullish. What most people are thinking is that the whole of this is a correction, because what they are just saying is that this is an impulse and this is a correction, and an impulse should resume to the upside, not knowing that the impulse they are seeing here might just be the last leg of an expanded flat. Because when we have what we have here is an ABC to the downside, it doesn't look like an impulse. If it's an impulse, it's going to be 5 wave. Let's look at it together, guys. From this high, wave 1, this is wave 2, this is wave 3. Where will I say my wave 4 retraces to? No. So it's obvious that it's an ABC, it's a zigzag, and this one also is another zigzag. So 2 zigzag followed by an impulse. That is what we call 335 formation, guys. 335 is let me open my Safari so that you guys can see perfectly. Let's Google it so that you guys can know what I'm talking about. Flat patterns in Elliot wave. So can you see that? I want to see where it's been written, maybe Investopedia or something. No, we're talking about expanded flat here. Expanded flats. Yeah. Here it is. Expanded flat correction on ElliotWaveForecast.com. What's happening? Alright, this is the bearish one. They are not showing us the bullish one. So opposite of this is what will happen for. I'm trying to look at the bullish. I'm trying to find the bullish one. Alright. Yeah, this should be. Alright, I think this is a perfect example of the bullish one and how it works. Yes. Alright, can you see in a downtrend, when the market is falling and there's a correction of ABC to the upside and there's another ABC to the downside, ideally it should be an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and when that impulse completes, expect that there's going to be a push to the downside. Don't think because currently this is where we have market is currently falling now. People are thinking, okay, this is just an impulse, this is a correction that's going to continue going up. It may not go that way. It might just continue to go down and break below this, and that's why for me it's better for me to be bearish. My stop loss should be somewhere around here after picking my position from here, depending on how market be, and picking this high reward, than for me to be buying a position here and putting my stop loss here. The stop loss is going to be so mad. I don't want to take that kind of risk, because ideally if you want to buy this setup, your stop loss should be behind with 1. because the way we trade Elliott wave is that when you are trading, this is an impulse, this is a correction, and this is a continuation. So when you want to buy the dip, you want to buy here, your stop loss should be at the beginning of the impulse. That's how we do it. So this is the impulse here that started from this low to this high, and this is what you might call your dip. If you want to buy it, your stop loss should be here. That's the ideal invalidation level. And same thing right here, I'm thinking this is the beginning of our own sell impulse, and I'm expecting my own correction to terminate here and to sell. So if I'm going to be selling, my invalidation level should be behind here. So that is how it works. I think I've exhausted the possible scenarios for gold, and I hope I'm going to see you guys by 6:30 today. If you are new to my channel, please kindly subscribe, follow me, and on the notification so that you can get an alert whenever we come live. 6:30 UK time, I will be live here, and we are going to trade the FOMC session together. Okay guys, thank you for being a part, thank you for joining, thank you for listening. I'm going to see you this evening. Thank you. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with my camera. That was why I don't know why it keeps fluctuating, but I think I'm back now. So this evening we are going to continue the analysis, guys. I really appreciate. I wish you all a nice trading day. What else? Do we have any other thing to analyze before I go? Have any other? Before I go, let me check, is there any question on Facebook, on YouTube? Then we can meet during the live session. Alright, I don't think there's any question now, so let's meet then at that time, 6:30 UK time today. Guys, let's meet. Thank you.